Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So, my name is Samantha Starkey. I was an educator. Now I'm an organic homestead farmsteader. And, well, I'm just your typical 50-year-old American living my best life. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today. All my life, I dreamed of traveling to Europe. It was literally on my bucket list, like I'm sure it's on most of yours. So, good morning, everyone. As you pop on, please hit the like button, drop over in comments, tell me who you are and where you are watching from. Because I feel like this is a conversation a lot of people are having as we move out of our 20s and 30s and 40s. And we move to the point where we're able to do a little more extensive traveling. And I feel like I'm not the only American saying, I don't really want to travel to Europe anymore. Is it even safe to do so? Because here is my point 62% of Americans can tie their DNA back to a European country. So there's something in us that is curious about our ancestors prior to them coming to America. Like my mother did her DNA when she was 76. Her family comes from two European countries, only two. And she's 81 now, and she always talked about possibly going and visiting where her family came from. I feel like most people want to connect to their past, whether you're white or black or Asian, it doesn't matter. We're just innately curious about where we're from, right? I mean, I have a lot of Black friends who are frustrated with the fact that they can only dig in their history to a certain point because, well, being that most of them came from slaves, there's a point where there's no records, right? And that's frustrating to them because they want to know who they are, who is their family. So I was doing a little bit of research and I figured that, you know, I don't think I want to go to Europe. And to answer your question, wild raspberries, it may be 12 where you are, but it's not 12 for all of us. So as I was digging into this, I began to realize that Europe is not safe. In fact, let me just put it to you quite bluntly, because people know me for my bluntness. If I wanted to go to Pakistan, that's where I would go. If I wanted to go to India, that's where I would go. If I wanted to go to the Middle East at all, that's where I would go. When I envision going to Europe, it would not be to go and be assaulted by Middle Eastern men. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe she said that. And other people are going to be like, thank you for, doing that, for saying the truth. And the truth is, it is unsafe in every European country but one right now. There is one European country that has never had a bombing or had a terrorist attack, and it's Poland. Every other European country is basically under attack and being taken over. And no, guys, it's not my opinion. I spend a lot of time researching. I spend a lot of time listening to people talk on social media. And it's the voices of women in Europe that's not getting out. They are being harassed. They're being shut down. They're being told, don't talk about this. This is not a topic we want you to talk about. So, my thing is this, guys. You can't have a real conversation if you aren't really going to listen to the truth.
London for 10 years. I've also lived in multiple other countries around the world. Never before have I felt as unsafe as I do now. When I walk down the street, I'm increasingly being leered at. I'm increasingly being followed like I'm going around the souks of Morocco. And it's not visibly to me anyway, people who were born and bred here. It isn't. And it's very difficult because we're not allowed to talk about it because, oh my gosh, that breaks taboo. Oh, you're a racist if you say this. I'm sorry. A lot of women going about their daily business feel that their safety is being directly threatened by people who are coming from different cultures. And this needs to be discussed because I've had enough. All my other female friends have had enough. When I put this stuff online, the number of comments online from other women saying they've had enough and saying thank you for talking about this. Was it not enough when we noticed what was going on with grooming gangs? Was it not enough when we see what's happened to the victim of Abdul Azadi? When are we going to have the conversation that women's safety is being mortgaged at the altar of mass immigration and this faux political correctness?
Now, the interesting thing about that commentary was the white man that was listening to her just looked blank. He just looked at her like this. They know it's happening and they're doing nothing. So you guys know I come with my receipts. I'm not going to get here and bash Europe if I can't prove certain things. So as I was digging into this study and this topic, the first thing I noticed was the amount of rapes that have happened comparatively, back and forth between the different countries. Now, if you look at the rate right now, it says compared to the rest of Europe, Poland has a significantly low crime rate, particularly in terms of violent crime, with one of the lowest homicide rates on the continent. But what's different about Poland? Does anybody on here know? They have basically surrounded their country with barbed wire and said, we will shoot you if you attempt to come into this country illegally. So when you're looking at what's going on right now, Europe, okay, so let's look at England versus Poland. There is a 9.4, a 2 times more likelihood that you will be sexually assaulted in England versus Poland. You have a 5-time more likelihood of being robbed in Europe versus Poland, and a 23-time more likelihood of having gun violence in England versus Poland. Now, when you look at Italy, it really goes up. It says it's a 4 times more likely to be sexually assaulted in Italy versus Poland. It is a 66% more of a chance of any type of crime in Italy than Poland, and 24 more times likely to be assaulted with gun violence. Now, then you go to France. France is really bad right now. 7 times more likely that you will be sexually assaulted in France versus Poland. You have a 13 times more chance of gun violence in France than Poland. And the homicide rate, 58% more chance of being killed in France than Poland. Oh, hi, we got somebody here from Poland. Well, I just want to say, I'm very impressed with your prime minister. He is a little, what you would call, different. He doesn't take much from people. But the one thing that he's doing, guys, is he's making sure that his country is safe. And he's being fined. And people are very angry that he has decided to protect his country. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Because what's happening in Germany right now is heartbreaking. We all know about the Christmas massacre, where an illegal alien drove his car into a Christmas celebration, killing Germans. Well, recently, like 5 days ago, the left, the liberals, were out there picketing for open borders. And what happened? An illegal alien got in a car and ran over a bunch of them. Now, instead of saying, wait a second, we just got killed from the people and injured from the people that were picketing to let into our country, they didn't. They blamed it on racism. They said that the hard right made this man into whom he is, but that's not true, guys. This is how those countries are brought up. This is how those countries behave. And I think as Americans, we need to wake up.
New York City is a sanctuary city, and this means local laws limit how much the city cooperates with federal immigration enforcement. They are also strict policies on how city workers can handle immigration information. But now, in its push to dismiss this case, acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General Emil Joseph Bove says Mayor Adams is, quote, needed to help enforce federal immigration policies and crack down on violent crime. That statement is sending shockwaves through the city.
We have 350,000 students in the New York City public schools who speak languages other than English at home. And right now they're extremely scared, and many of them have stopped coming to school because they fear deportation.
Mayor Adams responded to the controversy with a statement saying, in part, I want to be crystal clear with New Yorkers. I never offered, nor did anyone offer on my behalf, any trade of my authority as your mayor for an end to my case. Never. End quote. And this move to drop the case, it didn't happen quietly. It set off a major fight between the.
So if you guys want to know what they're talking about, Mayor Adams basically, everybody knows there were some lawsuits brought against him, some cases brought against him. Those cases are going to be dropped for his help to deport millions of illegal aliens out of New York City. And of course, people are freaking out, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's a good thing. Now, do I think he should be let off? No, he broke the law. There should be no deals made for that. But they've got Mayor Adams between a rock and a hard place. Watch him carefully and the policy changes that are coming for New York, because they're going to hang over his head the possibility of criminal prosecution to force him to give up New York City's sanctuary policies. Watch. I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen. Yeah, I understand. Everybody wants cheap labor. That is why they always bring in the illegal aliens. It's always linked to cheap labor.
In the European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID. Poland, one of the lowest debts. Poland.
This is Dominic, a member of the European Parliament from Poland, the country that just approved a new measure to shoot and kill anyone that tries to illegally enter their border.
Unfortunately, one of our soldiers was killed with a spear.
Because they behave like animals, unfortunately. They don't behave like civilized people. We are the ones with this border. So we are protecting the whole Europe.
But Poland's strict border control and refusal to take in refugees from non-neighboring countries like Syria and Afghanistan has caused the EU to propose a €22,000 fine for each person Poland refuses to take in, and guys like Dominic to be labeled Islamophobic and fascist.
And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission president, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why Poland is so safe. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
When I see the wall, I do understand that this is for my future children.
Does Poland's strict border policy work? Is Poland significantly safer than the rest of Europe because of it? And do the people of Poland want open borders?
Poland are racist. We are proud of it. And I don't really want any immigrants in my country, you know? Thank you, man.
Before meeting with Dominique, I headed to the capital of Poland, Warsaw, to see what the locals thought of Poland's border and their border patrol now being able to kill migrants illegally trying to enter their country.
At university, what are a lot of the students' thoughts on, shooting down illegal immigrants who come through the border?
I've never heard about it.
Okay.
It is bad because I don't see any purpose to use a gun for the person. First of all, we need to talk. We need to identify the intention of the other person.
Oh my God, that's like a tough question.
It's a crazy question, right?
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm not sure how they're controlling the borders, but I saw a lot of refugees in the Centrum here.
There are a lot of immigrants all around Europe, and sometimes it can be dangerous for the Europeans. What are your thoughts on if you came here illegally? What should be done?
Oh, I guess I should go to prison.
Do you feel safe here in Poland as a woman?
Now,
Yeah, very much.
let me explain to you guys. Whether you believe that he is racist or not, Poland is very safe. In fact, we have somebody from Poland in our comment section right here, and he does say that. He said, our situation is not the result of our politics, but only that Poland is not as rich. Soon, Poland will have the same situation as Germany because Polish businesses are demanding cheap labor. Then he goes on to say that, but I must tell you that it is very safe in Poland. My woman can walk alone in the city center at night and zero violence. When I was in Seattle, I went somewhere by myself at night. And I am telling y'all, I almost got robbed by a little gang of illegal aliens because they did not speak English that I could hear. And by the grace of God, I was able to combine myself into a group of other people walking, and they turned and left me, but they were following me. And they saw me as easy pickings until I blended in with a larger group. Now, I'm going to talk to you real quick about some stuff that is going on. Let me get this straight real fast. It says that sexual violence rates, better to be a woman in Poland than in Western Europe. The statistics on sexual violence in Western Europe stand out as particularly distressing. Poland's experience with sexual violence over the past 10 years shows a relatively stable pattern. There was a slight uptick in incidences around 2013, and it peaked at 2019. Then from 2019 to 2021, it was an extreme decrease. These figures, while concerning, do not reflect an upward trend. On the other hand, the average rates in Western European countries have shown a more worrying pattern, fluctuating from 42.49 events in every 100,000 up to 53 in 2021. These numbers not only exceed those recorded in Poland, but demonstrate a general escalation over the years. As for rapes, which are the most serious cases of sexual violence in France, the number of rapes per 100,000 inhabitants increased from 16% in 2012 to 28% in 2018 to 50% in 2021. There are also significant disparities between Western European countries, with a 2021 rape rate at around 4.2 in Spain, 12.5 in Germany, 35.7 in Belgium, and 13.3 in the Netherlands. The contrast with Poland is striking. Since the incidence of rape has shown a downward trajectory, with the lowest rates having been recently recorded at 1.5 and 1.54, which means it proves the fact that once Poland stopped allowing any illegal migration into their country. Now, I did not say they stopped migration into their country. They are allowing people to apply to move to Poland. But you have to prove you have a skill, that you don't have a violent history, and you're willing to come in with your documents. They'll let you into Poland. You can move there. You can work there. You can get citizenship there. But if